What's going on, guys? Zers here, and the other day, I was cruising down on Facebook, which I don't do very often anymore, and I stumbled across this picture. This picture that I'm about to post up in just a second, and the picture is titled "A Real Man." Right? It's a real man. It has a list of things that I guess are the qualities of a real man, or what a real man does. Right, and I found this on a page called "The Problem Is Men." It's from some guy. He's a dating coach or some shit like that. I can't remember completely right now, but he has lots of inspirational quotes on his page. Lots of these pictures where he says shit like this. So I'm gonna read off the qualities of a real man, and then we're gonna talk about this a little bit. So a real man is honest, takes care of his kids, gives up his seat for a woman, tells the worst truth instead of his best lie, listens, reads, is well groomed, is secure enough to have her stand in the limelight, smiles, is romantic, minds his manners, holds doors open for others, is trustworthy, is on time, treats service personnel with the respect they are due, loves and respects his parents, makes mistakes, doesn't hold mistakes others make against them, understands that he doesn't know everything, makes a conscious effort to learn something new every day, loves hard, says what he feels, reads this without feeling offended. So, I guess based on this criteria, I guess I am a real man. Nah, I'm gonna, stroke my ego a little bit. But to be honest, I guess there are a lot of qualities that I do have on this list. But and so when I read this, again, I didn't feel offended when I read this. So I'm not making this video to rebut any of the points. It's not really the issue that I have here. I have two main problems here, really. Because again, this picture kind of describes me. A lot of qualities I have on here. So I don't have any children, but if I had kids, I want kids, so obviously I'd take care of them. A couple of things I do all the time on this list. So I'm not offended. But the problem that I saw was that, I've never really seen a picture caption like this for a woman. You know what I'm saying? I realized this after I read this picture, that masculinity, or concepts of masculinity, both negatively and positively, are very well defined, and they're very concrete. On the other hand, with women, it's not as concrete as it is with the man. Because I can kind of sum up what a man does in one word, or in one sentence. And that sentence is, men do. We do shit. Men, we toil, we work, we strive to obtain something. That is what it means to be a man. If you look at biblical scripture, that was the curse of Adam, that we would toil the earth, and from the earth we would gain thistles, or something like that. I can't remember it verbatim. But the ultimate point of the nature of men is we struggle, we fight to obtain something, and that toil can be in trying to obtain the affection of a woman. It can be trying to build an empire. I'm toiling right now. I'm trying to get more subscribers on YouTube, trying to get more people to watch my stuff. I'm working. I'm toiling with my body. I'm trying to get physically stronger, not necessarily bigger, but definitely stronger and faster, and kind of what I just said, trying to get this girl in my film class, to kind of feel a little positive about me. You know what I'm saying? I'm toiling right now, right? And I'm working towards something. And that's really kind of what sums up a man at the end of the day. He's someone that does something that's trying to obtain something positive, or something that is beyond him, Kind of with me. And I guess we can keep going deeper, which is what I intend on doing. But I don't really I can't really say what is a real woman, and maybe it is because I'm not a woman, so I really can't speak on what it means to be a woman, but I am a man, so I can talk about masculinity all fucking day. Only thing I can talk about with women really is why they do some of the things they do, and I can talk about what I like about them, but I don't really know what it means to be a woman, because I'm not a woman, and I've never seen a caption like this for the opposite sex. So one thing that I decided to do was to go around and read a couple of different captions, see what I could find. So here's one that I found that describes a real woman. I think this one's kind of funny. It goes like this: a real woman is a man's best friend. She will never stand him up and never let him down. She will reassure him when he feels insecure and comfort him after a bad day. She will inspire him to do things he never thought he could do, to live without fear and forget regret. She will enable him to express his deepest emotions and give in to his most intimate desires. She will make sure he always feels as though he's the most handsome man in the room, and will enable him to be the most confident, sexy, seductive, and invincible. No, wait, sorry, I'm thinking of beer. That's what beer does. Never mind. So, of course, it's a fucking joke, but I do think that of course, it was joking about beer, but, maybe those are some really good things that a woman can indeed do. But I do have half a mind that some woman would probably read it and get her feelings hurt. Remember when Nash Greer was like, shave your arm hair? I'm sure some girl would get their feelings hurt when I talk about this subject, but I partly don't fucking care. So let's keep on reading a couple of things. So here's another picture. A real woman knows that a man's respect and loyalty are not an upgrade in a relationship, but a requirement. Okay? So let's read another one for a real man. So a real man never stops trying to show a woman how much she means to him, even after he's got her. Okay, that's a real man. Let's read this one. We need to teach our daughters to distinguish between a man who flatters her and a man who compliments her, a man who spends money on her and a man who invests in her, a man who views her as property and a man who views her properly, a man who lusts after her and a man who loves her, a man who believes he's a gift to women and a man who believes she's a gift to him. And then we need to teach our sons to be that kind of man. Alright, so I want you guys to kind of pay attention to the pictures that I'm reading. I know all of you guys are actually very intelligent people, so I'm pretty sure you're picking up on this by now. But let's keep reading a couple more. Here's one that goes, a real man never hurts a woman. Be very careful when you make a woman cry, because God counts her tears. The woman came out of a man's rib, not from his feet to be walked on, and not from his head to be superior, but from his side to be equal, under the arm to be protected, and next to the heart to be loved. So, clearly this is definitely someone who was a Christian, or at least Jewish, who wrote this up, and even if you want to look at it, from a metaphoric kind of view, which is partly what it was, I still think this is actually a really good picture, of course you might say, you're being biased, but of course I am, so, sorry. So, here's another one. Any girl can spend a man's money, drive his car, lay up in his crib, order off the menu, and give him what he desires. But only a real woman can help a man achieve his goals in life, support him when he goes down the money ladder, constantly encourage him to be successful, shower him with positive energy, compliment him on the regular, and never kick him when he's down. Instead, she lifts him up. Here's one more, and it goes, a true man doesn't promise, he commits. A true lady doesn't demand, she thanks. So, with that being said, guys, did you guys notice something very familiar about each of these pictures that I read? Because one thing that I noticed was that every single one of these pictures was about how the opposite sex treated each other. And that's very important here. So, I thought about this for a couple of days, actually. I do literally mean like 2 days. And I've been trying to really think, what exactly do I personally consider to be a real man? Or do I personally consider to be traits of masculinity? Because we only ever hear this toxic masculinity bullshit, right? And I get sick and tired of hearing it all the time. When I hear feminists talk about the representation of men in the media, and men are violent, and we live in a rape culture, which is utterly ridiculous. But I don't see very many people talk about the positivity of masculinity. And I don't see very many women revel in their femininity. You know, I don't see a lot of women, especially here, you know, at my campus, right? I see a whole bunch of women, they look like fucking men, like some broad ass shoulders, you know, they're wearing some shorts and some baggy pants. And I'm like, where are the feminine women? Like, there's this one girl, you know, that I wave to and say hi to every now and again. She's feminine. You know, she wears a nice little sundress, she wears a skirt, doesn't wear too much makeup. She's so cute, she's so nice. She just says hey, hello to everyone, she's friendly. She's a woman. You know, I see these butch women over here fucking mean mugging everybody all the time. They're like men. And I'm like, where are the women that revel in their femininity? You know what I'm saying? So, here's what I'm gonna do. Today's video, the last 5 minutes of this video, I'm gonna be talking about the qualities I personally think, now you don't have to agree, you can disagree as much as you want to, but the qualities that I say make up a real man. The next video, I'm going to talk about the qualities that I personally believe make up the qualities of a real woman. And then the third video on this topic is going to be me going around talking to people on my campus about what they themselves consider to be a real man and a real woman. So that video will probably run to, I'm thinking, 15 to 20 minutes, probably a little more depending on how many people that I ask. But that is the game plan. So the rest of this video, I'm talking about men. Next video, I'm talking about women. Last video, I'm getting other people's opinions, and we're going to talk about this shit. So, the qualities I personally believe make up a man or a real man, it's pretty simple. It's pretty simple. Honesty is definitely one of the most important traits that I believe makes up a man. Honesty and virtue. You know, being able to admit when you're wrong, being able to learn from your mistakes, being open and receptive to change when needed, accepting correctness, you know, accepting being corrected graciously instead of being hyper or like being very defensive or prideful, right? Being able to accept other people's, you know, opinions, being able to accept different points of views in life, I think is a huge quality in being a man. You know, understanding that you are a part of a bigger whole. You know, too many people, you know, too many men have like way too much pride in themselves nowadays, and they get stuck in their own fucking ass. God, just like women. It's just people in general, really. But it's a little different with men than it is with women, and I can discuss that in an entirely different video. You know, but you know, humility and honesty, definitely. Like the code of chivalry. I made a video on this, but the code of chivalry I think is a fantastic code that we should be able to live our lives on, you know. So honesty is definitely a good one. Tenacity. Now, tenacity is a lot different than what we consider, you know, like toughness. You know, we hear like men are tough, you know, and that's true, but tough in a different way. It's not tough in the sense that nothing bothers you, but it's tenacity in that you can get hurt and you can keep going. You know, you can take a hit, and that means you can take a hit in your pride, you can take a hit physically, emotionally, you can get hurt. And even though you're hurt, you keep pushing, you keep going, you keep doing. You know, that's tenacity. You know, too many times, you know, we have this facade of being tough, this facade of being so hard and whatnot, but underneath that shell, you got a soft little mushy core of marshmallows. I say, nah, tenacity, being able to fight and struggle, you know, being able to get hurt and to keep going. I feel like that's another quality that really makes up a man, you know. Men, another quality is men, we are doers. We do shit, we struggle, you know, we fight. Because we see the negative aspect, we always see violence, you know. Masculinity it's not the violence that is masculinity, it is the struggle. It is fighting for something that is beyond you, you know, and that could be the family unit, that could be fighting for your family, fighting for your children's future. You know, as much as I hate the idea of war, and I understand sometimes it's necessary, I have a great deal of respect for the soldiers that say, I want to defend my country. I'm not talking about the ones who dropped out of high school can't get another fucking job. I'm talking about the ones who say, I want to protect my country, I want to protect my family, so I'm going to do what I have to do. And granted, they are going into the war machine, you know, they're going into the meat grinder, but their heart is in the right place. You know, and I respect any man who's going to do something like that. Again, I don't agree with war. I don't think we should be fighting for stupid reasons, or for no reason at all, really. But I do respect these soldiers and these military personnel. I will say that. You know, I respect any man. I guess another thing that comes up with another man is any man who can own up to his mistakes. You know, I think I said that about TJ the Amazing Atheist once. You know, he has my respect. He, you know, the fucking naked picture of him sticking a banana up his butt, and instead of lying, instead of saying it's fake, he said it was me. That's what happened. He owned up. You know, even though that technically wasn't a mistake on his part, he owned up and he didn't lie about it. So I guess that goes back to the whole honesty thing I was talking about. You know, strength of character, you know, is another thing that really makes up a man, in my opinion. You know, I guess, you know, so to sum it all up, man, a man is someone who does. He's a doer. He has tenacity. He has strength. He commits. You know, he's fighting, he's struggling to obtain something that is bigger than himself. You know, that's the curse of Adam, you know. That's what makes up, in my opinion, a real man is a man who fights for the greater good of other people. And I'm not talking about a white knight, because a white knight is someone who defends somebody just because, usually a white knight is someone who defends a woman by virtue of them being a woman. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about a man who steps up when he doesn't have to, you know. Someone who does something not because he has to do it, because he wants to, you know. That kindness, that compassion, you know. Protecting people who are weaker than you. You know, again, the code of chivalry is a beautiful fucking code. You know, a lot of people don't think about too much anymore, right? So I guess to sum it all up, courage is another thing. So we got courage, tenacity, strength of character, honesty, and virtue. I think are some qualities that make a good man. You know, someone who struggles, someone who acknowledges they aren't perfect, but will struggle to obtain an ideal, or will struggle to become better than what they were the day before. You know, that's what I think characterizes a man. You know, so that's my opinion. Again, you guys can agree or disagree, that's up to you. But the next video, I'm going to talk about what I feel makes up a real woman. I mean, I see feminists talk about toxic masculinity all the time. Shit, let me talk about some positive femininity. Let's see what happens when I talk about the qualities that make up a great woman. I'm sorry. So that being said, I certainly hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and if you did, man, please go ahead and click that like button. Go ahead and click that subscribe button. Comment in the comment box below, and as always, have a great day. I'll see you cool cats soon. Adios.